Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Zero Jake, and welcome back to Space Engineers. Last episode, we created, or rather, we upgraded the recon vessel with a shield generator so that we can go capture some ships. I have captured some ships, and also incurred a bit of damage. You can see in the solar panel in the top right, it's taken some fire. It's sparking a bit. I need to go repair that. But that is the last solar tower that we have online at the moment. Because we've got plenty of uranium and solar panels aren't really outputting the power I need anymore, so they're becoming obsolete. And then in that bottom corner we've got a gunboat that tried to follow me home, and then it got lit up by the Gatling turrets. Now we did incur some damage on the platform itself, but I managed to repair that without too much damage. Now we can have a look at what our inventory says if I just hop down. If I hop down here, taking no damage. I've built another cargo container to carry magazines, ammunition, because we're getting quite a lot of missiles. Before you go have a look at our lovely LCD screens, I'm going to turn off the interface so that you can see it properly. We've got a sizable amount of resources now. I mean, looking in the bottom left, we still need gold. If we want to build more shield generators, which we're going to need to build one for the base at the very least, we're going to need a lot more gold and platinum. Yes. And then I'm also going to need to harvest more uranium because we've only got 300. And the base's power will last for a couple of days, and the server doesn't run when people are offline, but still need to go grab some. We've got plenty of NATO magazines. We've got enough to house every turret with 12 and then have some left over at the moment. I am going to need to increase that cap once we get to building more turrets, which should be soon. We've then also got a ton of stuff. We've got 14,000 steel, 2,000 solar, 2,000 thruster. That's useful. It means I don't have to get so much platinum. We've got 7,000 construction component. Basically, it's a very good level of stuff to have. Yeah, it means that we don't have to go mining as much if we're just capturing ships, but at the same time, we're not going to get the amount of raw resources we need to produce the modded components, like shield generators. Now, the ship that attacked us had a Gatling turret and shot up some places, namely the solar panel itself. But once it entered turret range, it got lit up and effectively glided over to here once its ion engines got cut. So there should be something that I can harvest from here. You know, a few thruster components, maybe a few... Well, it's made of light armor. Yeah, that's why it died. Let's stop flying for a second. We've got a timer block, a gyro. It's not much, but it's some scrap that we can put to better use somewhere else. Yeah, so in addition to that, I captured, including the ship that we captured last session, which was a private sail. I also captured a mining transport, another private sail, the rust freighter you see over there, and the military escort you see here. The private sails and the mining transport I scrapped for cash, for parts, and the other two we're going to be using as ships, because why build an entirely new ship when another one already exists and you already have it and you don't need to build it? Just mod it. So the military escort is basically going to be the bigger recon. We need enough components to throw a shield generator on there and then outfit it with turrets. There were turrets on there. There weren't when I was finished. And I've gone through both of these ships and hacked all of the components so that they're all owned by me, meaning my turrets won't shoot them up, which is good. It required a bit of patience. Yeah, so the military escort, if we have a look inside, both ships are pressurized when they want to be. I think this one gets pressurized. Or did I destroy the air vent? No, it doesn't. Okay. But it's got, an assembler, an oxygen tank, in case I need it, and a gravity generator, and some reactors, and a cargo container, and everything. I have gone and added a couple more ion thrusters so that this thing can fly properly in atmosphere, because in gravity, because when I flew this in, it did not have enough thrust to decelerate, and so collided with the ground a bit. But luckily, the landing clamps are on auto dock, so it hit the ground and then immediately stopped, no follow-through. The Rust Freighter, it's not really got enough thrust in order to stay afloat with cargo. I've added an additional thruster here, and I've removed the decoys that were placed back here that can be detached. I think that's everything I did. Yes, that's everything I did. Oh yeah, and then I cleaned out some of the gunk from the interior of both ships, and now they're both up to my standard of blank. So today, we're going to need some gold. A lot of gold, because I want shield generators. If we go over to the protocol base, we can have a look at... that's a hydrogen injector. Field emitter requires 5 gold per field emitter. You know, you may say, oh, okay, that's not much gold, but gold doesn't refine at the same quantity. And if we want to... That's not how you spell shield. So if we want to build a shield emitter, we need 400. Hang on. Okay, so say if we want a compact emitter for the military escort, we'll need 400 of that, which is 2,000 gold ingots. And then also the superconductors, which require gold. You may see the predicament of we need gold. So we're going to be building a mining base, and we're going to be flying over the components using the Rust Freighter. I just need to do a bit of base management, and then we'll get off to the gold deposit. Okay, I've finished what I need to do in the base, and I've loaded up the freighter with some components. I think we'll need to go back to grab some more anyway, but we've got plenty of components, as you can see here. It's not much. Well, I say not much. That's 3,000 steel plate. But we're trying to set up quite a sizable mining... This door has killed me, by the way. Just saying now, this door kills me. So that we can set up a semi-reasonable mining operation. Ah, yes. This has also got a cryopod, so I can actually log off in this ship, and it's fine. Now, we're just going to not clip with the geometry, thank you. Get into the seat and disconnect the connector. And now we're free floating. You can see that we've got 3 hours of flight time just hovering, which is perfectly fine. But we are going to need to set up a connector at the site as soon as possible. So let's disconnect from the base. You can see that this ship is very heavy. And that's not even with all of the cargo containers full. Hang on. Just do this. Gravity will do it for us. Thank you. Right. I am going to be using keyboard for moving this thing. I don't trust my mouse. Right, and then we'll look down a bit so that we can match with the horizon and start moving. Now, this thing can operate perfectly fine in space, which means that if we have any space-based operations, we'll be using this ship to do it as well. I think moving that fast should be fine. And also with this freighter, it means that we can bring back all of the resources that we ever need from the mining operation. We can sit at the mining operation, supplying it with our own supply of uranium, and then that'll be good. The one thing I forgot to do, however, is bring up ore detector. Yeah, I knew I forgot something. Yeah. Let's park ourselves down a bit. Look, the sun is rising? Yes, it is. Okay, that will give us some light. Let's settle over this end. Right, that should be good. You can sit right there, and you've got some cover in case we need it. I just want you to level with the horizon. There we go. That's still not level. There? We're still in a slightly upward tilt, but that's fine. Right, I'm just gonna go quickly grab the resources for a ore detector. Because I'm an idiot. Yeah. You'd think that I'd be able to do this stuff properly, but just know. Right, let's give me a second. Luckily we've got cargo points here. Right. Excellent. Let's fly up all over there. Get the ore detector onto my hotbar and add it to the freighter. Right, we're going to add it at the back here. If I can find a place that hasn't got stuff on it. Yeah, chucking it here would be fine. If we place it here, yeah. Swell that up. And that should be able to tell us where the gold is. The gold is there. Lovely. We're going to fly this thing over just so that we can locate a good place to start. And then we'll move this into a parked position. Because there's also supposed to be some silver here. But I'm not picking up the silver. Ah, there it is. Okay. So if we do that, and then I can walk around on the surface and see what's what. See doors? I didn't fall for that last time. Yeah, so I grabbed some silver from this deposit here. Is that silver or gold? Or is that just stone? Okay, that's gold. It's not much gold. Okay. But at least we can use this pit to start mining the gold. So that's all good. In which case, I'm going to want to grab some steel. Let's grab some steel. And start building up a base. Right, let's gravity align like that. I'm going to want this centralized. Hang on. No, I want... Give me a second. That's local grid aligned for some reason. Oh, that's grid aligning with that. Free placement. Okay. Let's move that into a position where I'll be happy with it. Then do it like this. Okay. We do that. That means, hang on, how many? One. Yeah, this is our pit. Lovely. So now that we've placed that, I'm going to set up a connector, so that this ship can presumably stick around. Let's add it over here. We've got a nice area here where I can just chuck a connector. Yeah, it's a bit long for conveyor line purposes, but it works for me. Right. Get upstairs. Get in and fly over. Without destroying the steel, please. Thank you. Right. I'm going to set up the preliminary mining base, and then we'll be back to build the drill. Okay, so I've constructed part of the platform. So first of all, we've got our large cargo container with connector, and then we've also got a pathway here so that we can enter and exit the ship without having to fly around. I figured those are necessary. It also makes the build look a bit more official. And then this platform has supports, and then that goes into this pit in which we'll have our mining drill. Now, I'm not going to build it with a connector established to begin with because I want spare resources available. But we are going to build a conveyor junction first. So let's go grab ourselves a couple of conveyor junctions, place them down. Right. So first things first. We've already determined the center. It's here. Right, the center of the pit that we're making is here, and we're just going to excavate the stone first so that we can get a wide enough area to build the rest of the drill. Right, so let's go slap these on. Go grab the resources I need for that. Thank you. Fly back. Okay, so let's go to Control 4, remove this, and go get ourselves a rotor. Advanced rotor. I'll also need the advanced rotor head. Actually, no, I don't need to. I'll just grab some steel and do this that way, and then we need some pistons. Yeah, so let's go grab ourselves some steel. About 50 should do. And we're going to start building out our mining drill. So let's place our rotor here, which means it can go down and we can access all around. We're going to need to excavate a large part of this in order to start making our actual drill bit. The drill bit that we want will excavate a very large area of terrain, which is why we need the space, because we want to get all of the gold available here and not just a teeny tiny bit. Right, so we're going to need to place down a piston to start with. That will give us the room that we need in order to do this, and then we're going to want to add... We're going to want to add a drill. Yes, right. We're going to want to add a drill, and then we're going to want to be using the right-click function of that drill. Yeah, so place a drill here. Hang on, did I set that up correctly? Yeah, I did. So we can use the right-click function of the drill, rotate this around, and then we should have enough space for us to act. Cool, right. Let's add all of this to the build planner. Right. Chuck this back, grab the materials. Start welding. Right. Okay, so that's a drill. That's nearly the piston. Right. Don't worry, I won't do the entire episode of me welding this up. It's just that this can be done relatively cheaply. Right. Grab that. Good. Okay. So because of the freighter has an antenna, I can access the antenna from here, which means I can just... hang on. Do I need to? Yeah, sure. So we can go Shift K and open the terminal of the Rust freighter, and then we can go to get the rotor. The rotor, we're going to want a velocity of 0.05. Let's see how that's... Yeah, that's slow. Too slow. Rust freighter. Hide the stuff that's not supposed to be here. You should be hidden as well. Right, that should give me everything. Cool. Right, rotor. Let's up that to 0.5. Yeah, that's speedy enough. Apart from the fact that it's going to do that and it's going to break. Okay, so we need to turn on the drill. Drill on. Okay, that's going to excavate ourselves a near perfect circle. We're not going to be doing anything with the stone at the moment, so I'm going to build a conveyor pipeline. We'll be back in a second once I've done some more excavation using our existing setup. Okay, so I've done some excavating using the right-click function of the drill to give us quite a sizable amount of room. I've also done a resupply mission so that we can get some more conveyor junction parts, because I ran out. Right, so we're going to set up our drill bit, so to speak. Right, so first of all, get some steel. Yes, you were almost there. Right, and some interior plate. We're going to need that as well. Interior plate. Cool. Right. So we've got ourselves some conveyor tubes. We're going to offset the pistons by 1 block, just to give us some more room. Actually, it might be beneficial to offset it by more, but then we run into the risk of, well, we're going to need to clear out the way down. Let's see. Do we want to offset it by more? I don't think we necessarily need to. Oh no, yeah, we totally do. Yeah. Sorry, all. I'm working on it. Okay, so we're going to offset it. We're going to offset the pistons by 2, so we're going to throw down our pistons until they hit the bottom here, just so that we have the reach. Yeah, pistoni, right. Yeah. So we're going to chuck our pistons down here, and we're going to pray that Clang does not destroy me for my insolence. And then we're going to return to the center with this block here. This is the center. Hooray, it's the center. Now we're going to do 2 things. First of all, this centerpiece is going to be going to have a line of drills that will excavate this area down here, so that as we are mining, we're clearing out the way for this section to go downwards. So basically, we have 2 sets of pistons, with pistons going down with their drills and pistons going to the going outward with their drills. Now, speaking of the outward-facing drills, actually, it's going to be beneficial if I get rid of that, place you here. Is that gonna clip too much? Well, it shouldn't clip too much. They're static objects. This is where aforementioned hubris comes in. Alternatively, I can offset it so that it's on a different axis. But then that's just weighting it to one side. Maybe. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to see if this gets impacted if I extend the pistons. No, we do the safer option. Yeah, okay, we're going to do the safer option. Let's get rid of this. Which is that these will turn around. Well, we're going to place the conveyor junction here just so that we can have the pistons done properly. We're going to have this face upwards, and then we're going to have a line of, I don't know, about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Going to have 5 of you. No, I don't need 5 of you, I only need 3. And even then, I don't need these. Okay, cool. 1, 2, thing. Since this is roughly the center of this escapade, that makes it useful. Then we're going to be placing our piston. The piston going outwards. We're only going to have 1 for now. I don't think we need to excavate a larger area than that. But having more than 1 is going to be a bit more of a design problem. We're then going to place our conveyor junction like so. And again, can we get away with again with this setup? Or is that a no? Give me 1 second. No, I've got it here. Okay, so do this. We can't place it here. Okay. We can't place it here either. That's unfortunate. Ever so slightly not enough range. Good work there. Right, let's excavate the area it's supposed to be hitting. So this block here. Okay. Right, that should be enough. Precision engineering, everyone. Precision in quotations. So if we set up our drills like this, it means that it's a bit better when it comes to turning around, so to speak, or rather it's better when we're going downwards because we have a larger coverage area that we can affect. But if we're doing it like this, then supposedly, just thinking, well, I could place 1 here, but that's gonna conflict with this. That's gonna be difficult. We've got a lot of room upwards. Well, I mean, presumably we can do this properly, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'll stop muttering in a second. We're going to extend this. Well, first of all, we're going to extend this so that this drill can go forward one. Hang on, I'll get rid of the drills. We're going to be placing our converge junctions like so, which means that if we go and start placing our drills, we can have one here. That's going to be a bit iffy, but that's fine. One here, and then we'll have one placed here, but I just need to excavate a tiny bit more. Right. I think that should be enough, right? No, where are you? It's annoying, because in order to see where I'm going wrong, I need to... okay, so it's this bit of rock. Right. Wrong. Yes. Is that enough? Yes. Okay, so I've got our 5 drills, which I'm going to need to weld up. And so that will be our main excavation piece, which is fine, and I can weld that up later. And then down here, we're going to need some drills to excavate out the area. Now, which way do we want to mine? Is the question. Right, if we... Okay, so we're going to need a drill here, right? And we're going to need 2 more drills on one side, and then that should be fine. So if we place them under this... Under the main piston. Yeah. No, not there. Fool. There, yes. And then we excavate this section. Oh, I need to grab my drill. Right. That should be enough. Hang on, let me just measure twice, cut once, as some people always say. Place the last drill here. That means that we have 8 drills in total, which is the amount that I brought with me. And as this rotates around, we can excavate the area in which this won't be able to, and then as this lowers, we'll be able to excavate the area properly. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to weld all this up, and then we'll get to trying to build this beast of an engineering. Okay, so if we have a look in here, you can see that I have finished welding up the ridiculous drill that I've created. All of it's welded up. I had to go back for more steel plates. I ran out of steel, I know. Yeah, so we've got 8 drills in total, 3 of them aiming downwards, 5 of them aiming to the side, and it is stable so long as everything up to here is showing inertia tensor. Don't show inertia tensor with the rotor, because otherwise it doesn't move properly. So this is acting like one grid, so to speak, when the pistons aren't moving, which is a godsend. Which means that, we can mine out properly. Now, we do have the problem of this area being a bit small for our drills, so I've been trying to keep an eye on it, making sure it doesn't clip into the terrain or anything. I am going to need to move this. Yeah, I am. Yeah. But this is only this only happens once, because once I get far down enough, it means that all of the area has already been mined, so it's fine. Now the main problem with our need to get gold is that we've got our drills here, but they can't descend far enough down to get to the gold without us having to mine our way down to begin with, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's simply not that bad. So I am going to have to mine a ton of stone in order to get this done. Now, here's the thing about that. Our freighter cannot hold all of its cargo's worth of stone. So much so that that we can do calculations based on that, right? Yeah, I'm getting up the notepad and the pen and paper. So we've got eight of these thrusters, eight ion thrusters. Each of those ion thrusters can go up to 345.6 kilonewtons, right? 345.6 kilonewtons times that by 8, which gives us a total thrust of 2,764.8 kilonewtons, right? Now, if I go onto the ship, right? I go onto the ship and we disconnect, we can then see the weight of this ship. Well, the mass. Weight is no bearing in these calculations because we're trying to calculate weight. Yeah, so if we disconnect and we have a look and we look at all of our stuff, we only have reactors at the moment. We can see that we are weighting at around 473,000 kilograms, right? 473,021 kilograms. Now, using our lovely equation, force equals mass times acceleration, and noting that the acceleration of the acceleration due to gravity, which is the amount that we want to negate, right? 9.81 times by 0.25 is 2.4525 meters per second squared of acceleration. We need thrust in order to counteract that. So that's the force. And then we've got the acceleration. We've got the force that we can provide, maximum. We've got the acceleration due to gravity that we need to counteract, or rather the amount of acceleration we need to induce, which means that we need to rearrange the equation. So that's instead of force equals mass times acceleration, it is instead force divided by acceleration equals mass. Right? So we get our 2,764.8 kilonewtons, times that by 1,000 to give us newtons in standard units, and then divide that by the acceleration, which is 2.4525, which gives us a mass limit, right? The maximum amount of mass that we can carry on this ship before it starts sinking uncontrollably is 1 million kilograms. I'm going to have a hard limit at 1 million because it's actually 1,127,339.45. But we don't care about all of those decimals because we want more acceleration than we want to be lower than that mass, not at that mass. If we're at that mass, we can't go up, which is a problem which is a problem because we need to increase our altitude. So we've got, 1 million kilograms. Take away the mass that we've got for our ship, right? Take away the mass we've got for our ships. Minus 473,021 gives us a maximum of 526,979 kilograms worth of stuff in the inventory before we encounter problems. We can round that down again to give us, we can bring along 500,000 kilograms worth of stuff before we need to pack it in, right? Now, if we have a look at our stone, that's... Oh yeah, because we're not connected. Doi. Right, we're now connected. Stone. So this stone is already 276,000. So we're going to keep mining until we get to a point where we've got overflow stone. Now, I do kind of need to make a program that means that if the inventory's full, don't keep mining. Like, shut off everything. But we can do that later. Right, so let's use our spectator camera to have a look, just make sure everything is dandy. Turn on the drills, and then start rotating. Now, the way that I've set this up, the 1 on 2 on both Control 1 and Control 2 is the rotor. Right, 1 turns it on and off, 2 switches direction, so 2 switches direction. Right. 3, 4, and 5 turn on piston 1, piston 2, and piston 3, so I can turn them on and off. 6 reverses the direction of all of these pistons. 7 turns on these drills. And then we go into control 2, and then 3 and 4 is the controls for, this piston here. 3 turns it on and off, 4 switches direction, and then 5 is for these set of drills. Effectively. Yeah, okay, so the rotor is going ever so slightly fast, so we're going to need to decrease by a reasonable amount. So let's turn up to 0.4 RPM instead. We want it so that this isn't clanging with the side constantly. Okay, yeah, we are going to need to change that again. Rotor. Turn that to 0.3. The problem is the more that we decrease the speed, the longer it takes to do the mining operation, which is not perfect. I mean, what we can do, right, is that we can make this a bit three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional and add a drill here and a drill here and another drill here and a drill here. It's too dark. That's too bright. Just so that we can ease this operation out. So if we have a look at our cargo container, hide empty, we can see that we're getting, so we're over the mass that we need. Right, which is fine. I mean, I could keep going, and I probably will. But this is the maximum amount that we can carry, and that's fine. So, we're going to stop the drill, so let's stop rotating. And turn off the drills. People are screaming in the background, how lovely. Right, so now that we've done that, we can get out of here. Now, the main problem is, with these drills, it usually causes server problems. Now, I'm looking at this at 60 FPS. You're looking at 30. My screen looks worse. It is updating every frame, which is hilarious. So we don't want too many of these bases around. Like, I'm just going to set up one. Because the rest of the resources we can get through regular mining or through stealing them. Yeah, so we've got some stone. A lot of my mining operations are going to be, I'm going to go be grabbing some stone, and then at some point we'll have some gold. But stone can be used to make iron, nickel, and silicon, so that's all fine. Right, let's load up. So let's go grab, I want inventories only here, and get the cargo, and then we want to go find this one. Yes. Now, we could try and calculate the amount of stone that is 500,000. Because we can get how much volume it takes up per kilogram. Except that this is measured in kilograms. So we can do this. Type in 500,000. Ta-da! We've hit our mass limit. Now you can see that this mass limit is absolutely terrible. Right? We can barely carry a sixth of, maybe even, we can barely carry an eighth of the total capacity of this place. So we're going to be upgrading the thrusters at some point. So now that we've done that, we can undock and pray to God that I've done my calculations correctly. This thing's going to be sluggish, isn't it? Right, I'm going to press spacebar. This is our remaining acceleration upwards. This is going to be very dangerous to land. Which is why we want to upgrade the thrusters so I can do this properly. But 500,000 stone is not a low amount. Right, we're going to turn ourselves around. Okay. And we're just going to punch it forward. Oh god, this is sluggish. Yeah. I already did the calculations for how many thrusters I need to fill up all the cargo containers, and it's above 20. Now, I don't think you can see this, but we don't really have room for above 20 thrusters on the bottom side without drastically altering the design of this ship. So, we're going to be using tiered thrusters. We're going to replace each one of the thrusters that are facing downwards, actually probably every single thruster, with a tier 2 thruster. The problem is that means that it will take up a ton of power. Well, 4 times the amount of power that we're currently using, to be exact. So we're going to need to add more reactors, which means we're going to be using more uranium, which means we need to mine more. But hey, this thing will actually move at a decent pace at that point. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to park ourselves over the other side, next to where the docking bay is. Right, let's turn us around. There we go. Move us backwards a bit. Right, okay, so if we collapsed out of the sky, we're not going to break anything, apart from this ship, which is going to be tragic. But we're going to use gravity just to ease us in. Right. Also, that acceleration. That acceleration is... Oh, that's going to kill me, that is. Look how long it takes to slow down! Yeah, so with this kind of acceleration, it gives me enough time to do Suvat equations as to when I should stop moving. Right, let's move forward a bit. Right, okay, rotate forward just a bit so that we're level. Slide us in. Now, we shouldn't be burning the base itself at this distance. Well, hopefully not. Otherwise, that's going to be embarrassing. Okay, now we're just going to ever so gently decrease our altitude. That's not gently. That's with some zeal, rather. Right, and then we can dock. Now, the reason why I don't have any magnetic attraction on the connectors is so that we don't go hurtling around in this 1 gigagram worth of ship. There's probably a better way to say that. Right, we are now docked. The stone should now leave our inventory and go into here, unless... Hang on. We need to just say... this is starboard 2, yes. We just need to change that to enable. That means that if we have a look here, we have a look for stone, it's gone because it's in the inventory. And now the refineries are going to go through all of it. I question why it's only doing 10 at a time. Right, let's chuck in like 20,000 in each. Right. That should give us a decent amount of stuff. Yeah, okay, it's going to play ball. Excellent. So now that we've done that, I can undock here, because we will have automatically filled up our reactors by docking here. And then we can go up, and then we can return, and then I can grab the excess components and continue mining. That's going to be my life until I get the gold, because I need the gold to build the shield generator so that we don't get attacked again. Yeah. But until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.